I don't even remember where I last saved the game. That was that privilege. So yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that keep because that's probably over here. That looks like a large enough lake. That was one of those. Oh, Old Evan Arch, Tamriel, but I think the map is cut off over here, so if I want to go to Tamriel, I'll go this way. Roads for Old Evan Arch. Not much, not that way, but I'm not going either way. And there's nothing there as far as it says. So, looks like we're going to stick to the swamp for now. The map's cut off there, there's no sense going that direction. I think the thing with Morrowind is there's a steep learning curve. And aside from that, as with probably like anything that you're just not used to, not accustomed to, something that isn't super easy, you need just like a couple of hours just to get into it. But I think once you get into it, once you get back into that Morrowind vibe, the exploration of the exotic, alien, foreign land, once you get into that feel, once you really start to enjoy it again, it starts to get good. And it just takes a amount of time, you know? Like, you're not going to enjoy this game right off the bat if you're used to super good-looking Modern Warfare 3 shooters or whatever, you know? Even though those games are pretty boring, but you know, like, they're used to flashy graphics. For example, Skyrim, or flashy combat, you're not going to get into it right from the start. Like, you're trading in comfort for the eyes for something that simply does not have the same graphical prowess. That's a fact. But it is still a beautiful game. It's a solid game, and it offers, like, the only reason you should really probably play any game is because it offers you a unique experience that cannot be garnered elsewhere, and in Morrowind, definitely a unique experience. And you know, there's a challenge. It's hardcore, you know. By the way, I think I saw back when I was in that pool and the slaughterfish murdered me before I was able to successfully cast water walking. I contracted ataxia, or disease. Yeah. I nearly reached my goal. Yeah, disease can be annoying, but at least I didn't get any. Oh, look at that waterfall! Awesome. Awesome. All right. That is cool. Check that out. That's sweet little waterfall. Look at that. If the rain is downpouring so much, if the water just... Oh boy. My frames per second do not like this view. It looks better from a distance than from close up. Oh wow. Yeah. This is like the great Morrowind field. Narrow path along the edge of the mountain. waterfall to your side, nice view on the river, but rather than be shiny and idyllic, I don't know if you pronounce it that way, but whatever, shiny and beautiful, what you get is this gray storm, cold, 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 what's it called, temperate? No, it's cold weather, wintry, northern, barren, wild, whatever. Adjectives. No particular. Bit of green plant. Pretty sure that's a poison. Too bad I lack the intelligence to note all the properties of these plants. I was lucky that those mushrooms gave me a water breathing. Ah, a new cave to explore. Shall we go inside? Sir Sadroran. What a terrible name. That does not mean anything. Alright. Let's visit Sir Sadroran. I could use a long blade. Oh! It's another one of those Daedric runes, it seems. But I'm not getting through there. So to remember the existence of this place, well, it's probably easy to find. All I need to do is find that mountain and the waterfall, and then walk up the road, and I'll find Sir Sadroran, or whatever. And then I'll be able to explore this new cave. Yeah, this is totally the Morrowind feel. And I think it's probably a good thing that I don't have a massively extended view, because what it does is that every turn is cause for like a new adventure. It may sound a bit cliched or whatever, but the fact that I can't see extremely far into the distance actually is a good thing for the game, because if you've got a huge view, you just see those AI creatures walking about in fixed patterns. It gives the world a very static feel. Well, if you I don't know, how do you say, if your field of view is very restricted, you need to be focused on your immediate surroundings, and you probably get more appreciation for detail, things closer to you, and it's more, the world is more daunting. I mean, quite simply, if you get a nice big overview of everything around you, you know what's coming, you know what to expect, you know what to see, and it does give you that experience, like they call it the sublime experience, when you're in contact with the sheer, massive awesomeness of nature, which you may get if you're looking like I don't know, if you're walking the Alps or some kind of Rocky Mountains, whatever. You get a big mountain range with a huge view of this massive awesomeness of nature smack down in your face, and then you get this feeling that on the one hand you're inconsequential, you're tiny, you have actually no impact on the vast power of nature, but on the other hand you have the ability to cognitively appraise it. I think there was like a painting, I don't know what his name is, but it's a dude, it's like a red-haired dude, ginger, standing atop a mountain in a sea of clouds. It's a pretty nice painting. It was about the idea of like sublime. So that's like an experience you can get if you're playing Skyrim. You got that huge ass view of the world around you. Morrowind, I guess you don't get this the sublime view unless you use a Morrowind graphics extender. What you do get is just beautiful detail. Oh, and no, probably the greatest achievement so far while I'm playing this mod is just that I'm not really conscious that it's a mod. I mean, it's feeling like a true extension of the core game. Now there are some things that I've seen, like the water flow that was flowing out in that cave that I visited. It was like a solid beam of crystallized water. That's not realistic. Or those floating plants, that's not realistic. But I mean, sure, I can forgive it, and it doesn't hit my immersion that much. I mean, I'm still pretty immersed into the world, into this game. So this mod, in terms of the world that I'm walking around in, they're doing an excellent job. And so far the interior that I've explored, fabulously designed. So I'm curious how the quests will be implemented in this game. It said on the download that it would include there's a Fighters Guild quest line, but that should be somewhere up in the north, as well as a Mages Guild quest line and the Thieves Guild quest line. But there's no Moratong quest line as far as I know, and no faction quest line, like none of the great houses. So House Tilvani or House Indral, which I'm pretty curious how that's going to look in game. I mean, we already know the Indral tile set from Almalexia or Mournhold, but yeah, there won't be any quests for the great houses, which is too bad because like quests are what makes a role-playing game as far as I'm concerned. And one of the reasons why. By the way, I should just shut up talking like I found a new village. About time. About damn time. Farming. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, you know, what separates Morrowind from Oblivion in a very, very obvious way is the fact that Oblivion has only 5 factions. You got mages, fighters, thieves, assassins in the form of Dark Brotherhood, and the arena. That's what you get. Morrowind has like 15 factions. 15 factions. And everyone allowing you to roleplay a type of character, which is just awesome because it's just more content than is necessary to sell the game. And that's what I really appreciate about Morrowind and other games that, you know, before things got extremely commercial, is that you put in more content than is necessary to sell the game. And sure, there are things like a less is more principle that you know, less is more. Like I don't have to give any specific examples, but in the case of this game, there's a slave freeing faction. That's not necessary to sell the game, or even the Moratong. I mean, what are the Moratong? The assassin faction, in case you don't know, but the Moratong, all they are is this mission sending you around the land of Varnafell. Kill this dude, you get money. That's all it is. It's not necessary to add that to sell the game, but it does allow people that want to play that specific type of character to play that kind of character. And that's just one of the great things about Morrowind, in my opinion. Like the diversity, the breadth, and the quality of the quests. And this dude is kind of a Marcus Reapus. He's kind of a retard, don't you think? Alright. What's this place called? Darnum. So it's like a large shack town. Comparable to Saint Denis or what's it called? Clawad. One of those law towns, you know, like you got these towns along the coast here.